Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of the Straight to the Money podcast, brought to you by Silver Property Ventures. If you need coaching in the real estate space, wholesale, assignable contracts, if you have a distressed property, reach out to Silver Property Ventures. Today on the show, I have my good friend, San Antonio, Texas resident, real estate entrepreneur, and now in the medical field, pursuing a career in the medical field, Forrest Ramirez. Forrest, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it.
Forrest, where are you at? You're at a coffee shop, right?
Yeah, I'm in a coffee shop. Just got out of church. It's a beautiful day. I was going to do it outside, but I was like, don't want to risk that too much. So we're indoors today.
Did you know it's freezing in Dallas? It's actually freezing. Like, it was 32 degrees this morning.
Dude, actually last night, I felt the cold front come in. And then, like, this morning, it's like a solid, like, 50 with the breeze. Out here for us, man, that's pretty cold.
I got to be completely transparent. You know, I moved out of San Antonio because of the real estate market was just it wasn't where I needed it to be for me to be successful as a real estate entrepreneur. And I'm glad that I moved out because now I've done 2 or 3 assignable deals, wholesale deals. I also have work as a podcast host in a real estate focused company, and then I've also launched my own podcast, and I also just got my real estate license in the state of Texas. And so networking is on another level, but I do miss the San Antonio weather. I'm actually shivering indoors over here.
Man, yeah, you said a whole lot that you've done in like the span of like 6 months. I don't think people really understand that. Like the amount of hustle you did. I mean, you've always hustled, but like the amount of things you had done within 6 months is absolutely insane.
Yeah. Talk about that a little bit. I'm actually going to throw on a blanket because I'm cold, but talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man, this guy, we were out here, San Antonio real estate market. Well, really just the real estate market in general, man. I don't know how you're seeing it right now. I'm a little disconnected, I feel like, from like most real estate. But from what I've seen, transactions are still at a pretty low number. The only real transactions I've been seeing are usually new builds. Not a whole lot of fix and flips, not a whole lot of margin. There's not enough meat on the bone. A lot of the people that I see that are making money right now are going to be like private lenders.
Honestly, that's exactly the trend that I'm seeing. Not to be, dark on everything or pessimistic, but a little bit of that. I've said this before. The path of a real estate entrepreneur is you're on the outside looking in, not sure how to make money in real estate. Then you go from that to networking. Then you go from that to, if you're still in the investment path, wholesaling, which is what I am and where I'm at. Then you go from there to fixing and flipping, doing some buy and hold, short-term, mid-term rental. And what I'm seeing now a lot of is people getting out of that and going into note buying and hard money lending, construction loans. So I'm, of course, not at a point where I can be lending money. So what's the next best thing that I can do? Continue networking and get my real estate license. And that's where I'm at.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like the people that I've known. I mean, we both have like buyers that we can reach out to for things. And when you're even reaching out to them to get like a buy box, they're kind of like, I don't know, man, just not enough meat on that bone. I mean, if you can get him down like another 100K, it's like, bro, come on. This dude's basically this is like he's gonna start paying us to take the home at this point, bro. Like, come on.
Forrest, you're my dog, homie. You God, you're looking so just chilling over there. I'm jealous, dude. I'm jealous. As you can see, I'm freezing over here. Surviving tornadoes and quite literally. And man, I'm jealous. But Forrest, how did we meet? Talk about how we met.
Man, it all started at Rebuild, man. We were both wholesalers. I was a wholesaler before. I was in the military before, so I was especially just decided to get out, come back to the States, live a civilian life for a little bit. I was doing real estate investing when I was in the military. Saw this job ad for like they just did like an investor. It basically was like kind of tiptoeing around the term wholesaler, but I kind of understood what they're going for. They used some other jargon I can't even come up with. It was just some BS. But whenever you applied to it, I just kind of gave them. Met Frankie for the first time. Talked to Frankie. Shouts out Frankie. Great guy. But yeah, they kind of just went through like a 3-round interview, kind of just got an idea of my real estate knowledge, deals I've done, things like that. And they're like, hey, you might be the real deal. So they brought me on in San Antonio, and then not too far from there, you came in, man, and then we started making some crazy deals.
We did. Honestly, we did. Such an interesting experience. And wow. One of my favorite memories, there's two. There's taking Forrest to Top Golf. That was one of my. I love Top Golf. Forrest, I had a premier. I forget what it was called, like a membership that I was paying for. So I could just like roll in at almost any point in time, and they would give me my own parking spot. They would put like a flag in my booth. It was like baller activities, you know what I mean? I had just gotten out of the car business, so I still had a little bit of that car dog money. But I remember being in the office with Forrest, and this company was moving us to a smaller office, and we were like selling the entire office, like everything in the office, like the rugs,
the coffee pots, everything.
Yeah, the lamps, right? And so this woman came in, I believe she was military too, and they had like mutual friends or something like this, and we ended up selling her something in the office, and Forrest was like, oh yeah, no, yeah, I know that person too. And I was like, you know this person? And I'm like, here's a lamp.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Double up, baby, yeah.
You remember that?
I do, yeah, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, that day we probably sold more furniture than we did real estate, but.
Oh no, I know, it was tough. I mean, anytime that you're in a startup, you're gonna have growing pains, and for sure that was there. I remember quite literally, Forrest was my only point of contact for how any of this worked at all. I mean, I knew absolutely nothing, but what I did have was a really good attitude at that point in time. Like, I had a really great attitude. Like, I went into it being like, let me just try to do my best. Like, we're gonna try to find some deals, I remember, dude, let's talk about the Martell deal. The Martell deal.
Oh, man, Martell cartel, dude. I don't know if you could, man. You want to start it off? I think.
Oh man, where do we even start?
Dude. Well, first off, at that point, because you were still fairly new to like kind of, I mean, not sales, obviously, yeah, but to like real estate negotiations, things like.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, we were doing some, reconnaissance, kind of running numbers. We looked at the location and we're like, yo, this is kind of a bougie area. Look up the home, went on Google Maps, you kind of walk in the street and you're like, dude, there's no way it's this house, bro. So I was like, dude, I gotta go with you to this fucking deal. So then we both went, and then we pull up, and was he already standing outside, or did we have to knock and he came out? Do you remember?
I feel like we knocked.
Yeah, I think we knocked, and then it was two guys. And then one of them was talking the whole time. The other guy, I mean, he was cool, cordial, he shook our hand. No, wait, there was nobody else there. It was just him, right?
Yeah, if we're at the house, it was just him, yeah. We go in and it's a courtyard. We go in. So first of all, when do you ever open a door into a courtyard? It's a front door, right? It's a front door and it opens into a courtyard. So now we're in the courtyard. This gentleman is here. I forget what. I think his name was. I'm not going to say his first name because we don't have his blessings about this podcast. But he was going by Martell, right? And so. Martell, and we're chopping it up with him, and he's like, take a look at this place. We had, I forget if it was a family situation or tenants, and they were just tired of.
He said his son. He said his son used to stay there, and then he's just been partying too much. He's saying, fuck this dude.
It was nice as hell. It was so nice. It was
a baller pad.
It was exactly. It was a 2-story loft. You had triangular ceilings. Like, I'm not sure what type of kitchen you would call that, but it was a renovated, beautiful kitchen. You also had an office space that looked like it was out of the 80s. Like you had
marble staircase.
A desktop, like not desktop, but like desk phone, and you're like, hello, I got that vibe out of it, and second floor, I believe there was 1 or 2 bathrooms, absolutely beautiful. You had a skylight where you could look up, and it was just like, wow, this is super cool. So we end up getting it under contract, for like $300,000. I don't remember exactly what it was, right?
Yeah, we knew we were gonna have to come down. Like we threw out a number, but like the deal was just so crazy. We're just like, dude, even if we can just get into the negotiation, let's just do it, dude. So we threw out just a Hail Mary. We're just like, fuck it, 300. I thought he was gonna reject it. Dude was like, all right, cool. Let's go have this conversation. He's like, I don't like to make deals final in person like this. He's like, I have to talk to my wife. Trust me, there's nothing you can say right now that can end this deal. He's like, look, I still want to talk to you guys. Come meet me in my office. He gave us the address. This place is in La Cantera.
What is that for people not familiar with San Antonio? What is La Cantera?
La Cantera is like your high-end, bougie shopping experience. And yeah, I mean, it's got outlets, all the. It's pretty much where you want to go if you want to find anything nice here. But basically, we roll up. Was it the day after or a couple days after? I'm not even sure. It wasn't the same
I don't know. It was a beautiful day though.
Beautiful day. Come up in the morning. Dude calls us up. He's already standing outside like a G, and he's like, "Oh hey, you guys made it," and then walked us back to his office. And then I don't know how much more you want to go into on this. I don't know.
We're gonna tell the whole story. Okay, so we walk into the office. First of all, for people not familiar with this area of La Cantera, this is like, I believe there's a steakhouse. It's like do you know the steakhouse that it's near? Do you know the name of that steakhouse?
It's definitely a high-end one. I can't name it off the top of my head.
It's
But
a high-end
that people have heard. It's like a chain, a high-end chain.
I distinctly remember there was a Dodge Viper out there the previous day or that day, and I remember telling you about that. It's also directly next to Six Flags. Like, you can actually see the roller coasters from there. Okay, so he's got office space over here. Okay, so we're walking in. He keys into the door, okay? And he says, take a seat. Okay, so it's myself and Forrest sitting in this area, and we're looking down, and the magazine's in the table. Do you remember where the magazine's in the table?
I don't, actually. But I remember other things
Okay,
that were kind of different.
I distinctly remember the magazines and the table. I distinctly remember this being like a waiting area. I'm like, oh, what kind of business is this? What are these guys doing, right? And then so another guy comes out. And then we see two gentlemen. And what happened, Forrest?
Yeah, so basically they took us back to this, like, we walk in, as we're walking through this office space, we see this guy. It's like a separate office, this guy's just sitting there. But it's very inconspicuous. You're like, oh, okay, well, there's like some dude running numbers or something. Looks like a bookkeeper or something, and you're like, all right, whatever. So we keep going through this office space. We end up in the back. I guess like their like R&R area, or like where they go to hang out. And back there, they just have like boards with projections, and you can tell like they're running a business out of this. Some kind of deals going on out of this. And then as we sit down in the back, it's us and then the gentleman that we'll just we'll call him Gary. So Gary was kind of sitting there, and this is the gentleman we've been talking to the whole time, and we're like, all right, well, ready to finish this deal. And he's like, well, boys, I got something to confess to you guys. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm not the guy. We're like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? They were like looking at each other like, bro, are we about to die? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then the guy that was sitting conspicuously doing numbers and stuff comes in, and he's like, I'm the guy. And we're like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with this? So they were like, okay, well, who are we negotiating with? And they're like, oh, well, we're partners. And apparently he's a big deal, and he just wanted to kind of vet us to see if we were the real deal. And yeah, that was basically it. So we went through there and then kind of had our discussion. And I don't know how much you want to go into the discussion that he told us, but...
So yeah, I mean, we are sitting down at this table, and one of these gentlemen takes out our contract. Do you remember this, Forrest? He takes out our contract. But the contract was on like high quality enforced paper. I believe it's called like corrugated paper or like thick
$2
paper.
a sheet.
Yeah. I mean, it was quality papel, quality paper, and so we're sitting there, and he's also got it. I want to say with sticky notes, like someone has gone through it,
Like a lawyer.
and and so it's like he had a couple questions, and we signed off on it. And there was an area where I think he didn't put in some information, and he said if the deal closes, we'll get this information here to you. And then as we're walking out, he's like, hey, I want to show you something, or something along these lines, right? So we're walking out, and doors in front of us. On the right-hand side, he's keying into some other room. There's also, as we're walking out, some, like, antebellum, like, it looked like, I don't know what kind of relic, like the South before the Civil War type of relic sitting on the thing. I want to say it was like a caricature of some kind, of like a clown. And I'm just like, that's a little creepy.
A little odd, yeah.
Yeah, we go into this room, and what's in the room, Forrest?
So this man opens the door. Looked like just a normal supply closet. They open the door. As we're looking in, we see this giant painting on the wall that looks very unique. Do you remember the name of it? You looked it up later, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but if anybody knows Ernie Barnes, there's a famous painting by Ernie Barnes. I got to look up the name of it. I'm going to see if I can look it up now.
Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
But Sugar Shack.
Sugar Shack.
Very famous painting. It looked like the same type of vibe. So if you
the same theme, yeah.
You know, if you've seen this Sugar Shack painting, it looked like the same type of vibe, and it was definitely expensive work of art. What else was in the room, Forrest?
So yeah, from there, we see this giant painting. Obviously, catches your eye. On the right side, they had like a contract and golden shovels, I believe, right?
Yeah, there was a gold shovel on the ground.
Yeah, and on it was he was basically wrote out, it was like a napkin, I think in a box. And it was a business plan that they wrote up for Chase Bank to get funding. And if you ever have a business, go to get funding, it's a pretty hard endeavor to get that type of level funding for a deal. So that means that they're in the big leagues. They're making big money. So yeah, they had these golden shovels, they had some bags, and then you go to the left side, and there's like a giant like safe, and then he goes to open it up, and he's like, hey, would you boys be willing to help out during the Civil War or something like that? And I was like, huh? And he goes, dude, and he starts pulling out rifles and guns, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is like a shopping center in the most bougie area I could think of. This man's got a whole arsenal in the back. This is insane.
He had a small arsenal behind a lock and key, behind a door that you had to pad into. You know what I mean? And crazy. So we leave, and I'm outside, and I'm like, was that like to keep us on our toes? Was that like so that, hey, in case you got to know who you're dealing with over here. You got to know who you're dealing with over here. Be on your toes. Don't mess with us. Don't mess with us. Type of deal.
Well, even like during the negotiation, yeah, he was like, so before we even got to that part, while we're still sitting down working all the details, and he's like, yeah, we looked up your company and everything seemed legit. We did a little background on you guys. You guys seem to check out, but just to make sure, everything just stays the way that we're talking. And I was like, hey man, look. I'm just here to make some money. You're here to make some money. Let's make a good deal. Yeah, we went from there. So
I had no idea zero idea what I was doing whatsoever. Forrest was my only point of contact. There was another gentleman, real great, nice guy, who was also working in the office. He ended up becoming, actually, I want to say like a teacher, if I'm not mistaken, for a local school out there of some kind. But I think he was only there for a couple weeks while I was there. So Forrest was my one and only point of contact for all things real estate. For all things real estate. All things. So eventually there's some changes. We get a new manager. And after a while, I ended up being one of the few people from our initial group that was left with the company. Forrest, by that point in time, had gone and was doing a number of different jobs. Ended up going into the medical track. Are you going to be like some type of radiology technician or nurse? I haven't caught up with you on this. Where are we at with this today, Forrest?
Yeah. So essentially, because the whole point, whenever I was in the military, actually before I even started the military, I was always wanting to be a doctor. That was always the plan. Joined the military specifically for it, and I was going to school during all that, and then had some family issues go down. Decided to get into real estate, so that's what kind of started me in real estate. And it was always like a side gig for me, and it was good to make like some side money for sure. And then life started happening in the military, and then they were going to send me to a place I definitely didn't want to go. And the writing was on the wall. I was like, all right, well, do I continue this path or do I try something different? And I was like, well, I can get out and go back to school. And the initial plan was just to finish up my med degree. So I was already working on pre-med because I was already looking to go to like med school. But I was just going to be a general physician. And then I was in the military. I was doing a number of jobs. And my last one was like radiology. And I was like, yo, this is actually pretty cool, pretty chill, easy money, lifestyle's pretty easy. The only downside is just you don't interact with a lot of people. I'm a very people person, so I like to communicate, talk, all that. And that's whenever I was looking for a job on the outside until I can get all my school stuff figured out. And then I was like, oh, look at that, a real estate investment company. Why not do that? So we kind of went down the path we did. Real estate had some ups and downs while we were doing it. And we could just kind of see that the landscape was changing a little bit, and we just got to adjust. So decided to go back to med school. I still have to finish up a couple more prereqs to get into a program. So I'm actually going to go anesthesia this time. And so I'm at a local college, kind of knocking that out, still doing little odds and ends here and there, little deals, little.
So it's gonna be Dr. Ramirez here soon.
That's the plan, my brother.
Okay, so for those who are listening, like myself, who don't know what radiology is that MRIs?
Yeah, it could be MRIs, could be really anything used with like an X-ray.
X-rays.
So MRIs, there's two different categories. So you can go like sonography, which is like, where you get like your baby scan and people are looking to see like what the baby looks like. You can even go for like certain organs. It's just a non-invasive way to try to get some imaging. Or you can go the radiology route, which is, X-rays, radiation, different deal. MRI falls more into sonography than radiation. But they're all important. They all got their deal. The reason why I didn't go radiology was just because of the lifestyle differences. Like I said, I'm kind of more able to talk to people. If I was a technologist and not a doctor, then I'd be able to communicate with people just as much. But I don't know.
I have MRI results on my leg and calf that we have to review before the show. I had a buddy who's no longer really a buddy. I felt like we were going in different directions. I wanted to go bring him on the real estate path to some degree. I kind of wanted like him to be pumped up about my journey, and instead it was tough to make plans. It was also, it seemed like he wasn't gung-ho about the path that I was heading down. And now I realize, like, dude, if you want to bring someone with you on your path and they don't even want to see you win, it's going to be hard to bring them with you. Like, if you want to bring them and they don't even want to see you win, it's going to be hard to bring them with you. But this buddy was actually there with me when I had the great idea to jump like a story and a half, 2 stories off of a boulder wall onto a mat, and definitely jacked up my leg. And he was like, yeah, it's in your head, like, you're making a big deal, there's nothing wrong with you, like, blah, blah, blah. This was in August of 2023, roughly. Now it's almost 2 years later, and I gotta share, when we get off here, legs jacked up. It's like 2 pages of MRI results, like tibia, all types of things in my ankle. But Dr. Ramirez, we're gonna see a Dr. Ramirez here soon. You want to do like emergency room stuff? What do you want to do for us?
Yeah, so I mean, working with anesthesia, I'll be doing mainly like OR. So I'll be the guy that like talks you through, stuff before you get fully sedated.
Yeah, it'll be like Dr. Ramirez, and you speak Spanish, right?
Simon.
You'll be like, not this Ramirez. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
this one, you got the wrong one, dude. Little whitewashed here.
They're like, damn. Forrest Ramirez. It's like a double side. You got all types. You got the Forrest, which is like basically a country name, as country as it gets. Forrest Ramirez. You're fighting in the UFC next weekend, and then you've also got. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's the only other Forrest that anybody knows. No one knows a single other Forrest. It's you and Forrest Griffin and Forrest Whitaker. I think that's a person.
That's
Forrest
Whitaker.
Whitaker.
Yeah, that's a good plug.
You know what I mean? But I'm curious, Forrest, just to get your feedback, crystal ball to the future.
Yeah.
Where do you think any of this AI stuff is headed? Because I jokingly say ChatGPT released $200 a month AI, plan, and unless they're printing business plans and like regulating negotiations and procedures, I gotta know what they're doing. So where are you seeing this head to? How do you use it in your life? And are you afraid of a Will Smith iRobot scenario?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question, because like a lot of people I still get, because like I'm still an investor and things like that, just kind of pivoting, and this is really the prime time for me to like make this life change. But people are asking like, okay, well, are you like still making deals? Are you still doing deals? Like, what's the plan from here? And I think it's interesting that you brought up AI, because I've had this discussion with a lot of people, and I don't think they see the writing on the wall. I think we're gonna have so much changing within the next 5 to 10 years, maybe even 7 years, with how quickly things are kind of progressing. I think the biggest opportunity we're going to see is in buying businesses. And I think what the main deal is going to be is either creating a service that you can bring to businesses, or just acquiring businesses to optimize them with AI. So it's like, okay, well, what does that even mean? That's so convoluted, right? And basically, the way that I see it is that it's either going to be a company that comes to these other companies, and they're going to provide the service of having AI agents, like just take over these like very, I don't want to say simple roles, but roles that can be easily duplicated by an algorithm of some kind. So like, I don't know if you've seen like these ads with like the AI cold callers. Have you seen that?
Absolutely. Have you heard like
crazy.
Simply AI? Have you seen that? I think it's Simply
Yeah.
AI. And
They
there's
actually
one
pitched me.
there's one where it's like, hey, and the guy's like, hello? And then they're like, hey, we're just reminding you of your call at X and X time. And the guy's like, you realize what time it is right now? And then it's like, it's 1:30 in the morning. And the guy's like, dang, they really calling me. And then they go through this full dialogue, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm listening to it. I'm just trying to get to sleep. Why am I listening to this? And the guy's probably thinking the same thing.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Just imagine like the power that you have to have even just like a customer service representative or a cold caller or whatever you want to call them, lead setter, whatever. And they never get tired. They never need a lunch break. You can upload an entire list of numbers. Like, remember, like, whenever we go and pull these list of numbers, and we gotta cold call all of them and have them tell us all their freaking BS. If you can just upload the list itself and just have it doing that while you're working on the business itself, that saves you so much time. And then it gives you all the warm leads so that you can actually see where to go with that and, work off of that versus wasting your time talking to all these cold leads. But overall, I see people creating a service to where they come to a business. Let's use HR, right? Let's say that you're going to go to a business that's already established, maybe a little bit smaller, mid-size, whatever. You come in and you offer to replace their HR department. And it's like, why are you paying all these guys to just kind of sit around and go over stuff you already have created? And if you can just have like the basic day-to-day stuff that they're doing just get covered by AI, and then you have maybe if you do need an in-person HR representative, they can just contact your company that has a say like an outside agent that they can just bring in to take care of whatever in-person thing they need, because you don't need to be in there 247, and then it gets rid of an expense. People are the biggest expense of a company, so if they can get rid of that in any way, they're going to. So they're going to get rid of a lot of the customer service reps. They're going to get rid of all the cold callers. They're going to get rid of all that, and it's going to be just one person that's running, like pretty much like an overseer. They're like overlooking all these different programs, that's taking all these different responsibilities of the company, and they're just making sure it's running right. That's it.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and
Imagine it's like a one-man, multi-million-dollar company. Like you just have AI doing most of the things, and then you just have one guy at the top, and you've got like this Tony Stark level layout in front of you. It's like multiple blue screens, and you're just there locked in, like.
Dude, that's where we're headed, dude. And people, I think it's just human nature, right? Like we kind of want to do like we just want to kind of hide from what we know is going to happen, or we just don't want to accept it. But I mean, we're already seeing it with certain roles, and companies don't have any loyalty to people. They have loyalty to profit. So it's like, why would they be incentivized to give you a good job when they can just cut you and not have to worry about you getting pregnant, you needing sick days, you needing to see your family, you needing to go home. Yeah. They can just have the worker bee that just works until God knows when. And I think all companies are going to have like their own AI agents, like how they have like their own tech support deal, or like their own like tech department. You're going to have like your own AI department, and an AI that's created specifically for your company. I think that's where it's going to go. And I think people that can capitalize on buying a lot of these boring businesses, or just businesses in general, that you can help pretty much incorporate this AI. I mean, the profits are just gonna go out the freaking door, and then I mean, you can just do a sell within 5, 6 years, 7 years.
Have you heard of Claude?
Mm-mm.
So I'm seeing a lot of this right now, specifically in what I'm doing. Networking and so on and so forth. There's AI note takers right now, which are incredibly powerful. One of them is Claude, right? And it's this wearable device. You could also put it on the back of your phone, which will create synopses of conversations, so you don't have to take a single note, and create what they call mind maps, a visual representation of the conversation. You can also now do this with Zoom calls as well. So not through Claude specifically that I'm aware of, although you might be able to, but through other through other companies and other entities as well. So where you could be on a Zoom call with somebody, and it will tell you a full breakdown of the conversation at the end, okay? It will also, while you're talking to them, tell you the talk percentage. So if you're worried about over talking when you're talking with a group of people, or if you're worried that someone specifically will over talk, you can actually see their talk percentage. And this is, for me, going to change everything.
Interesting. Have you seen anyone incorporating it? I've seen a couple instances of people bringing it into real estate. Have you seen any on your end?
I've seen it, yeah, in the meetings aspect of it. But as soon as I can, I'm about to go full in with this. In the future, I see myself doing fully remote real estate. Santo Domingo, Dominican shoddy. I'll be like, hey, we're gonna overlook the ocean right now. Let's go sip my little espresso, get my work done. I'll be like, wah, que lo que, ma. Dap people up. I'll be on my Zoom call. Morning, it'll be an hour ahead. I'm in the Caribbean, apartment overlooking the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be like this, boom, 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 $600 a month. And then I'll be like, what's up? I'm here in the Caribbean, Dominican shoddy. Got my bandera dominicana. That's like Dominican, you know what I'm saying? I'll be on my terrace out there overlooking the ocean. I got my MacBook M3. Forrest has seen the M3. Forrest has seen the M3.
Too clean.
Clean. Is it ever not the most expensive laptop in the establishment.
Never. I don't think there's ever been a time I've seen it.
When I got this laptop, it's a little sidebar. When I got this laptop, it was, aside from my car and my apartment, like the most expensive purchase that I'd ever gotten. But I will say to every single entrepreneur and person in school, get yourself the most expensive laptop that you can possibly afford. Get it insured if you can, and it'll do wonders for you. Like I feel like I can split atoms on this thing. Like it's crazy. The updates that it does is nuts. It's now fully, dude. It's fully integrated with ChatGPT. Like the MacBook is.
Oh yeah, it's inevitable. Have you played around with ChatGPT at all? Like the voice function, like talking to it?
Oh yeah. How do you think I'm so good at Spanish at this point? Nah, I'm just kidding. That's from being in the Dominican. But I do play around with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's really interesting. Like, for me, I'm a thinker, so I like to think out things, but I don't like to procrastinate. So, like, when I'm making a call, I like to be able to bounce my ideas off of somebody that's pretty reasonable. And it's actually insane. ChatGPT kind of fills that role pretty easily. So, if you have, like, anything you're trying to work through, any big decision, I would just recommend just kind of laying out your thoughts pretty evenly. You can even lay it out with ChatGPT. You can just talk it out. It's going to help you lay out everything, and it's going to be a personal assistant, and it's going to pretty much be like the next level of like what your cell phone is. I think most people are going to have like their own little ChatGPT type guy or assistant that you can just talk to and work things out, or at least for people that are in business looking to do a lot. It can just save you so much time, so much money. Yeah,
100%. I'm still waiting for us to have like ChatGPT bringing historical figures back to life, like Borderline. You know what I mean? Like it'll adopt the soul of like ancient, scientists like Sir Isaac Newton, mathematician, right? And you could just have full-on conversations with Sir Isaac Newton, and be like, dude, I don't understand X, Y, and Z, and then you'll get the actual thought and process of Sir Isaac Newton. Or for people who are not as interested in that, you could go talk to like sports figures, right? So like early sports figures. You go talk to Babe Ruth. You go talk to any number of sports figures and get their perspective, or get their training methodology, how they would have adjusted it to today. I really am excited about that personally. Oh yeah.
Another crazy thing that I've done recently was I had a friend, unfortunately, that I knew was either suicidal or on the brink, or they were supposed to some weird stuff, so I kind of reached out to them, and then we were able to have a discussion. But I was able to, because at that time I was a little under the weather, let's say, and I wasn't able to think very clearly. So I was like, well, what can I do? And I was like, you know what, screw it. So I told ChatGPT to take on the persona of pretty much like a clinical grade clinician that would be like a psychologist. And I was like, you have a patient that presents like basically how my friend is. How would you talk them out of that, or help them out? And it actually gave me like step-by-step deals that I can talk to them about, and it worked, and it helped out a lot. And now they're more open to reaching out to me, which I'm glad. But the power of AI is just insane. It's like how Google was in like the early 90s. I think we're just kind of like right on that precipice where people are kind of seeing it. They know it's important. They don't really know what to do with it. And I think the people that figure out the next moves are going to be like the people that made all the money from like the dot-com bubble in like the 2000s.
I can't even imagine what school is like with ChatGPT. I can't, because we had like Wolfram Alpha when I was in school, which was AI before AI. Mm-hmm. But dude, it's like, what's even the point? Like these things can code entire, like school's got to be totally different.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane, and I'm kind of glad I'm doing it now when I'm doing it. because I mean, it's like I said, you got to use it as a tool. Obviously, there's a lot of people that crutch off of it, and it doesn't help you pass exams and things like that, or let the information sit. But like for me, it saves a lot of time with like note taking, because I used to hand write all my notes, but then I can just upload documents or have it listen to like my lecture, and it would just make notes for me, and then I would just reference like little things here and there. It's a time saver. That's pretty much all it's meant to do. That's how I've been using it. Or there's concepts, especially if you're doing like math, or like for me, I'm in biochem right now. So if you're like working out like certain processes and you're like, dude, I don't understand this, it'll literally break it down, kind of like Wolfram Alpha would, where it'd show you like the answer and it'll show you the steps. But this one you can interact with. You can tell it, hey, I still don't understand this. Can you give me more problems that emphasize this problem? And then it'll show it. Then it'll give you the step-by-step on that. And you can just keep working it down. I do it for Spanish. I do it for literally anything you need help with. It's insane. It's such a level up, and people just don't understand the power that they have right now.
I gotta go live in Fort Lauderdale and just figure it out somehow. You're 100% making me believe that this is possible. I'm overcomplicating this. Just ChatGPT, my MacBook M3, and a data reception. 5G plan. That's all we need. You can be homeless in Fort Lauderdale. It's warm. You'll figure it out.
Come on, baby. Still got the car.
Barely. There's a tornado. Had a rod from the ranch hit through my car door, not all the way through, but get through the shell, the metal portion of it. I know, it's sad, dude. It's sad. I know.
Poor baby, dude. How is the ranch life? How are you liking it?
So I didn't ever really understand why people would like ranches until I'm living on one. Yeah. And now I get it, because it's like, you might not eat this cow tomorrow, but he's cool looking, or he or she is cool looking, And then there's all these ranch animals, you got chickens, you got dogs running around, you got open land, I'm actually closer to Oklahoma, real story, than I am to Dallas.
Interesting.
I'm closer to Oklahoma than I am to Dallas. So
isn't that the cattle capital of the world?
I could be. I think so. Could be.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
I'll tell you what, though. I say this, and I say this lovingly. I lived in San Antonio from 2019 to 2024, which is, close to Austin. You're about an hour and a half, 90 minutes from Austin, roughly. Austin is the actual capital of Texas, but I feel like as far as culturally, like, Dallas is the, like, just right there. It's neck and neck. Like, they chose Austin to be the capital for whatever reasons, but, man, is Dallas culturally, like... It's Texas. We're Texasing so hard out here in DFW. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I mean, anytime people think of Texas, they think Dallas. I talk to foreigners overseas, you're like, oh, Texas? Like, big star, cowboy hats, all that stuff? You can see that anywhere in Texas, but more than likely it's Dallas.
I wish it wasn't so cold up here, dude. I'm actually jealous because you got those 4 sun rays on right behind you, and I'm like, I want some sun rays. But dude, it's the Final Four. We're coming up on time here, Forrest. It's the Final Four in San Antonio. Is there a vibe out there right now? Is there like a bunch of people?
There is, man, but I don't really keep up with the sports too much. My college actually gave me some free tickets, and I was like, dude, I don't even care.
You're not going to the Final Four?
Yeah, I know, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not. I only watch like people beating the fuck out of each other. So it's gonna be like boxing, Muay Thai, UFC, things like that.
Yeah, you're more of a Final Destination guy than
kind of a little bit more different. Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Oh man, Forrest, when are we going out to Santo Domingo, bro? And first of all, let's put some projections on this, Forrest. When do you think I'm gonna have my first couple deeds in my name or LLC that I own?
Well, you already have your own LLC, so that's already killing it. If you're looking for like major deals, dude, I think honestly, and like as somebody who's been doing real estate for a bit, obviously there's people that are always going to make money just doing traditional deals, wholesale stuff like that. I think the new moves right now, if we're looking to get like the big boy money, we're going to have to start looking at like more commercial deals, because we know commercial, as we know, is already going to be, tanking here soon. Those loans are coming due, and I think just acquiring anything bigger than just a few residentials here and there, I think that's going to be the new moves. So I think you buying a business, definitely very, very likely in the next 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. I'm gonna say, God willing, if I could do it 2026, early 2026, like February 2026. If I can get a deed in my name by February 2026, that would be amazing. And I got to get you out to Santo Domingo. I don't know how that's going to happen, but, you know, we have a group. There's a handful of us. Like, we're going out there. I just found out that my old manager in the car business, who was on a previous episode, is going out to Santo Domingo, like in July of this year. So I'm like, dude, I got to go out. Like, I have to go. Like, I have to bring people with me.
Popping spot. Everyone's going out there now.
Dude, it's crazy. It is crazy, dude. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, Forrest, we are coming up on time here. Thank you for spending some time with us. Where can folks go to get a hold of you?
So yeah, right now, like I said, deals are kind of limited, but I am still creating lists. Always down to make anything happen. Easiest way is on Instagram. Name is Bozkei. That's Bozkei. Hard to miss.
All right, Forrest, thank you for your time.
All right, brother. Until next time.